Coming up on Eagle Vision News, we talk about the results of this year's World Series.
Also, we bring you interviews with the winners of Pumpkin Pie.
And what you need to know about a burglary spree in the San Dimas area.
All this and more coming up on Eagle Vision News. Welcome to Eagle Vision News. I'm Endless Anderson.
And I'm Bretton Thuene. Our top stories tonight. The LA Dodgers dropped Game 7 at home to the Astros to lose the World Series. The tightly matched series ended Wednesday night as the Astros defeated the Dodgers in Dodger Stadium 5-1. This marks the first World Series title in Houston Astros history since they came into the league in 1962. Dodgers starting pitcher Yu Darvish was pulled in the second inning, tying the shortest outing of his career. After the poor start, the Dodgers offense couldn't bring them back as they scored only one run in the sixth inning. What is almost more remarkable than the historic Fall Classic was that Sports Illustrated predicted the Astros to win in 2014. They even placed the 2017 Series MVP George Springer as the cover athlete.
A neighborhood volunteer group fears that a serious threat to their community lies within the walls of a Torrance refinery. Around 100,000 Torrance residents received a public safety warning flyer this week from a neighborhood grassroots volunteer group, the Torrance Refinery Action Alliance. The group is worried about modified hydrofluoric acid. The toxic substance used at the refinery can cause severe burns, long-lasting internal organ damage, or even death. Volunteers are sharing their concerns after an explosion at the refinery in 2015. Refinery representatives said removing the substance would take years, millions of dollars, and cause unemployment for over 600 people. The Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors weighed in on the issue and sent a letter to the South Coast Air Quality Management District Board, urging the refinery to ban the chemical. Police are on a hunt for suspects caught on camera in a burglary spree in the San Dimas area. 6 locations off of Arrow Highway and Villa Verde were hit on Wednesday night and Thursday morning in Glendora, Azusa, and San Dimas. Authorities are calling this crime spree a burglary string because 3 suspects smashed glass doors along with taking cash. Surveillance video shows the suspects clearly smashing their way into a super liquor store in Azusa. The owner of La Villa Kitchen in San Dimas said the suspects seemed to know where to go, hitting the safe, cash registers, and even a donation jar for the victims of the Las Vegas mass shooting. Business owners in the area are thinking of new ways to protect their businesses, and in the meantime, an investigation is still open while authorities look for the suspects.
The suspect accused of using a U-Haul truck to run over pedestrians on a New York bike path requested an ISIS flag in his hospital room. The 29-year-old Uzbekistan native also told investigators that he planned to continue hitting pedestrians on the Brooklyn Bridge. After crashing the truck into a school bus, the suspect was shot in the abdomen before being taken into custody. He waived his right to silence, stating that he was inspired to carry out the attacks after watching ISIS videos. His phone was discovered to have over 90 videos and 3,800 images of ISIS propaganda.
This weekend, Biola hosted its annual talent show, Pumpkin Pie. Our reporter Hannah Miller was there to talk to this year's winners.
Pumpkin Pie 2017 was a huge hit with 9 talented acts and 1 comical song which took home the winning title. Once a year, Biola puts on this fun and exciting talent show competition for both students and their families who come for Family Weekend. Students performing in the competition had the time of their lives using their talents and gifts to create music, perform magic, or dance. The 3 acts that stood out to the judges this year were Chopsticks, Danielle and Connor, and David Dio. After student vote, David Dio came in 3rd, Chopsticks in 2nd, and Danielle and Connor took home 1st. The song that won Danielle and Connor the winning title was based off their good friend Noah Chow and his so-called Amazing Calves. The song was an instant hit, and students and families sitting in the audience just had to sing along.
You know, Pumpkin Pie is a great place, and this community has just fostered this creativity.
Students and family are gathered here at Pumpkin Pie, and they are super excited about this year's winners.
Not only were students and family excited about the competition and its winners, the judges for this year loved every minute of the competition, including the puns made towards pumpkins.
Really hard for us to make a decision, but it was really fun.
It was awesome. We're debating whether or not pumpkins have feelings and whether or not there's mental states associated with pumpkins, but all of us, we just got confounded by it, so we're not sure. It was an awesome night. Great music, very talented.
Super creative for sure.
Oh, yeah.
This has been Hannah Miller with Eagle Vision News.
Thanks, Hannah. Well, I've really enjoyed the show in the past, but I have to say my favorite part was always the pie they hand out at the end.
Definitely. I really like that part too, but one year I actually saw this girl doing this cool musical looping. It was really neat. But in case you had a little too much pumpkin pie this weekend, our reporter Bobby Terrell is here to tell us the latest in health news. Bobby?
This fall season and the winter to come bring forth some of the worst treats for your teeth. This time of year is what we like to call the sugar season. Halloween just passed, and as it left, it was sure to leave behind tons of cavities. During Halloween, Americans alone are predicted to buy $2.7 billion worth of candy, according to the National Retail Foundation. While Halloween may be over, we can expect more sweets to come as holidays like Thanksgiving, Christmas, and even Valentine's Day come around. Though cavities are preventable, a striking 91% of adults from ages 20 to 64 years old have a tooth decay, according to a survey by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Chocolates, mints, and lollipops are great, but the cavities and root canals they leave behind, not so much. Scientists explore if sugar can lead to cancer. A biologic mechanism in yeast cells may explain the relationship between sugar and malignant tumors. The 9-year-old research project looks closely at cancer cells' appetite for sugar. Johann Develine and his colleagues experimented with yeast cells since, just like cancer cells, they are known to favor fermentation over respiration. As sugar is broken down in cells, their intermediate compound activates the RAS proteins, and this stimulates cell proliferation. The cycle seen in yeast cells might help explain the aggressiveness of cancer. A woman sweats blood from her face and her palms. When the average person gets hot or is under a lot of pressure, they tend to sweat, but it is usually just salty water. A 21-year-old woman, on the other hand, sweats only blood from her pores. The patient, whose identity remains anonymous, had no signs of scratches or wounds and was diagnosed with hematohydrosis, a rare disease marked by a spontaneous discharge of blood sweat through intact skin. The doctors prescribed her with propanol, which reduced but did not stop her bleeding.
Thanks, Bobby. Well, I definitely made sure to stay away from the sweets this year. I had too many cavities as a kid from trick-or-treating. But we're officially past Halloween and moving into November, so let's hope that this colder weather can stick around.
And in case you're wondering if the cooler trend is going to stick around, Victoria Lee Ward is here to tell us this week's weather.
Yes, it will be. I'll get to that in just a minute. Wanted to show you the beautiful colors of New England with the reds and oranges and greens. It's looking a little bit different here in La Mirada. Today our temperatures were a bit cooler with a 59 this morning and also a 68 this afternoon, but it went back down to a 59. I saw some boots and scarves today. It will continue to get cooler. Let's look at our national outlook. We've got some rains up here in Portland, big surprise there. And we've also got some early signs of a winter here in Idaho and North Dakota. What does that look like for us here in La Mirada? Well, today and tomorrow, it's still a high of 67 and 68, a bit cooler. And the rest of this week, it's going to be 69, 67 again in the cooler temperatures. It's also going to be cloudy, so get out those warm clothes, but it will warm up the rest of this weekend. Back to you guys.
That's all we have for you this week, but join us next time on Eagle Vision News.
Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Biola EV for more updates. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next week.